Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I'm so used to saying good evening. I'm now recording another little mini webinar update for everybody, which is on the Australian state and territory stimulus packages and a summary of where they're at. Now, I'm not going to go through every state because not every state do we have clients in. I'm going to show them briefly for the ones I'm not doing, but I'm going to concentrate on the ones I am doing, okay? Because they're all in here. There's the ACT, New South Wales, Northern Territory, Queensland, South Australia, Tassie, Victoria, and Western Australia. This has been kindly provided by our accounting body, which is really nice. So let's start with the ACT, payroll tax. So with the ACT, as at the 17th of April, there's a 6-month waiver of payroll tax. So all businesses directly affected by prohibited activities like gyms, sports venues, cinemas, beauty therapists, etc., are eligible for a waiver of payroll tax from April to September, but you've still got to apply. There's a deferral of payroll tax for all businesses with Australian wages grouped of less than 10 million can apply to defer their 20 to 21 payroll tax interest-free until 1 July 22, but once again, you've got to apply for it. And the construction industry, businesses in the construction industry can apply to defer their payroll tax for the 6 months from April to September 20 with no interest. Please note the payments made or received under the JobKeeper are exempt from payroll tax, even though it is yet to be confirmed. That's what they're going to be trying to do. Land tax, commercial property owners that have an average unimproved value below 2 million are eligible for an automatic rebate of 2622 on their commercial rates fixed for the 1920 year. Relief for tenants and landlords. On the 29th of March, the ACT government implemented a 6-month moratorium on rental evictions, which I think is pretty much the case everywhere. Commercial tenancies, broadly speaking, you'll be eligible for a waiver or rebate on commercial rates tied to the rent relief being passed on to the tenants, okay? And additionally, the ACT government is trying to implement something where landlords must negotiate rent relief agreements with tenants in financial distress, a ban on terminating leases for non-payment of rent, and a freeze in rent increases. Now, this applies for all tenants with a turnover less than 50 million, which is obviously going to be most businesses. Residential, what they're talking about in the ACT residentially is a rent reduction rebate for landlords that reduces rents for tenants under rent stress by at least 25% for up to 6 months. And the government will match 50% of the rent reduction capped at $2,600 over 6 months or $100 a week. Delaying the issuing of rates notices by 4 weeks. Owner-occupiers who have got severe hardship, at least 25% reduction in their house income, will be eligible for deferral of their rates for 12 months, but the household can't be earning more than 160 grand, and basically a delay in rent increases. So any outstanding rent will not accrue interest. Utilities, small business owners will get an electricity usage of 100 megawatts per year will be automatically receive a 750 rebate on their bill. I'm not worried about liquor licenses or fees or gaming. And more details, there's the website for more details about the states and for ACT and where you can go to find out more information. Next, New South Wales, again from the 17th of April. Payroll tax. If you grouped Australian wages at 10 million or less, the payroll tax liability will be reduced by 25% on lodgement of the annual REC, which is due the 28th of July. For businesses that lodge and pay monthly, no payments required for March, April or May, and the option of deferring by an additional 3 months. If you group with more than 10 million, payment can be deferred for up to 6 months. And the payroll tax threshold for 2021 will be increased from 900 to $1 million. And once again, payments that received for JobKeeper are expected to be exempt from payroll tax, although not confirmed. Land tax. Various measures they're saying here about land tax. Taxpayers can apply online to pay land tax in instalments, and there's land tax concessions for landlords, refer point 3, which I'm about to cover. Once again, on the 29th of March, the New South Wales government brought in a similar moratorium about not evicting people for 6 months, which seems to be pretty much Australia-wide. Commercial tenancies, landlords can apply for a concession of up to 25% land tax reduction if the savings are passed on to tenants in the form of a rent reduction. So in other words, you don't make anything out of it yourself. And the government is basically offering rent relief for tenants under financial distress. They can't terminate, and the freeze-in increase is similar to what's in ACT, where the turnover is less than 50 million. Sorry, keep going. New South Wales residential landlords will be eligible for land tax waiver or rebate up to 25% if they pass on the savings, and a 60-day stop on landlords terminating, and a deferral of rent for 6 months with less than 20 employees in all government-owned properties. Small business, and I know a couple of people that have gone for this. They're offering a grant of up to $10,000 if they have between 1 and 19 employees and an annual turnover of more than 75 grand, have total Australian wages below the New South Wales payroll tax threshold, which we mentioned above, have an ABN at the 1st of March, employ staff at the 1st of March, and have been highly impacted by the COVID, broadly meaning a decline of at least 75% in turnover, and have unavoidable costs. So I know someone that's got that, and I think that grant might have ceased now, but anyway, that was certainly pretty handy and wasn't too hard for them. Liquor license, fees and levies, I'm not going to get into that. Just let me keep going down. Gaming machines, I'm not going to worry about. And there's the website for the New South Wales guys to get more information about where to go. Next, Northern Territory. Now I'm just going to go slowly through it because I don't actually have any clients in the Northern Territory. So if anyone's in the Northern Territory and wants us to provide this information, I'll happily send you guys a copy of this for the Northern Territory people, but I'm not going to go through it because I don't have enough. I've got no one in the Northern Territory that we look after. So I'm just going to keep scrolling forward. And there's the website for all Northern Territory people anyway, just in case. Next state, Queensland. Okay. As at 17th of April, payroll tax. If you have taxable Australian wages of 6.5 million or less, a refund of payroll tax paid for November and December, and a payroll tax holiday for Jan, February and March. And you can also apply for a deferral of payroll tax. If your wages are more than 6.5 million, you can apply for a deferral of the 2020 calendar year and a refund of payroll tax paid for January and February. And once again, it's anticipated that JobKeeper income will be exempt from payroll tax. Oh, sorry, payments made. Sorry, not income. Any payments made that are just JobKeeper payments were meant to be exempt. Hard to police, I'm sure. So I was wrong with what I said before. Sorry for the confusion. Land tax. A land tax rebate of 25% for eligible properties. I'm not going to go through all that there. You can see what's required. Up for a second. And an automatic waiver for foreign surcharges. Not going to worry about that. Tenants. Once again, the same sort of moratorium. Commercial tenancies, they're talking about maybe eligible for a land tax rebate if you do all those things that are on the screen, which I'm not going to read out. Residential, same sort of thing. There's bits and pieces you can do in relation to certain conditions being met, which are all on the screen, which I'll pause for a second and then I'll keep going. And that's the last of that. Small business. There was a ripping financial product that Queensland people had access to, and I'll draw your attention to the note underneath. Due to overwhelming demand, that scheme got shut down real quick because it got oversubscribed. There's some grants available in Queensland for people that particularly work in food, forestry, fishing, and other industries that are really badly affected. There's rebates on electricity, and householder rebates, liquor licenses, fees. I'm not worried about that. And there's the website for Queensland people to go to find out more. South Australia, once again, I don't have any clients in South Australia, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to fast forward. And there's the website for South Australia. And for anyone's in South Australia, please don't hesitate to give us a buzz or shoot us an email, and we'll flick you through this. Tassie, okay. Payroll tax. If you're an employee in the hospitality, tourism and seafood industries, I'm not going to go through it because I don't have anyone that's in that. All others, wages up to 5 million, and they can demonstrate they've been affected by COVID. Payroll tax will be waived for the entire 19-20 financial year, and monthly returns for March, April and May are not required. But you've still got to lodge the annual declaration form by the 21st of July. And a 12-month rebate will apply to approved employers who employ youth people, which I'm not going to worry about too much. And once again, any payments made under JobKeeper is designed to be exempt. Land tax will be waived for commercial properties for the 2021 financial year where the business is liable for land tax and can demonstrate they've been affected by COVID. Tenants, same sort of 6-month moratorium. There's the commercial bits and pieces there, which I'm not going to go through. 6-month rent waiver for government property. Residential, I'll let you guys read that because that's what's required about residential. Small business, there's a 3-year interest-free loan of 50 million to support businesses turnover below 10 million who operate in the hospitality, tourism, seafood and exports. There's some grants available to help with people that are affected. And there's the websites there to help with Tassie people to find out more. Victoria, payroll tax will be waived for the 19-20 financial year with wages up to 3 million, but you must continue to lodge your returns, and you can defer payroll tax for the first 3 months of 2021. And once again, JobKeeper is expected to be excluded. Land tax, landowners that have at least one non-residential, that's non-residential property, and taxable holding below $1 million may defer their 20 land tax payments until after 1 Jan 21, but full payment has to be made by 31 March 21. And the State Revenue Office are meant to be contacting eligible people, and landlords who provide rent relief may be eligible for a 25% reduction. Now, this is again the same 6-month moratorium, bits and pieces, which I'm not going to read out. Commercial tenancies, similar sort of concepts to other states. And these are the things that are relevant in relation to rent. Small businesses, there's some $10,000 grants for businesses that employ staff and have a turnover of more than 75 and payroll of less than 650 that have been highly impacted. So it's worth having a look at that for anyone that might be affected. And there's the website for the Victorian guys. Western Australia, I don't have any clients in Western Australia, so I'm just going to skip over that. And if anyone from Western Australia wants anything, please contact us and we will shoot you through the stuff here. And I'm about to fast forward to the website. Sorry, I must be paid on the next page. Okay, there's the website for WA people. That's it, guys. I've just done a really, really brief state stimulus update. If you want details in full of this, please contact us and we'll shoot you this PDF out. Or if you want to know more details, because this is only a real summary, you've got to go to all the links in each of the different states and find out more. But what I was really wanting to give you guys is as current an update as I can, which is the 17th of April of all the state stimulus measures. Please make sure that you look at these, see if any are appropriate and action them sooner rather than later. And if not, you've at least been updated on it all. And so at that point, I will bid you all farewell. Say thanks for your time. And until next time we catch up, take care.